Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is the place where I mostly talk about games, movies, TV series and anime, usually reviewing them in order to determine whether they are worth the watch or play. As there are literally an overabundance of content present to watch or to play, I'm just trying to be a guide of sorts to help you filter out the content and find the ones which are actually worth your time investment. So keeping up with the theme of the series today, we're gonna check out Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2. This anime series has been a talk of the town since its premiere back in 2020, which has only grown in popularity every passing episode. And after one whole season and a movie based on prequel events, it can be said without a doubt that Jujutsu Kaisen is one of the most popular anime franchise of current times.
自分が死ぬ時のことは分からんけど、生き様で後悔はしたくない。
The series was shot to fame with crazy mass hype that focused mainly on Satoru Gojo, and to a large degree I acknowledge and accept the hype, as the character is a dynamic anomaly of the series and steals every scene he's present in, either with his careless witty charm or pure unrivaled power. And even though I thought that the season as a whole was a pretty solid intro to the anime series, which had its own charm, and pairing that with great animation work done by MAPPA Studios only made the series more commendable. But personally, I've always felt that Season 1 was quite relatable to many other anime series, and I have seen more than my fair share of shonen series to find a lot of generic similarities present when compared. And I felt that there are only two major aspects of the show which was making it stand out from the crowd, and that is cinematic production and obviously Satoru Gojo.
生徒の前なんでね、かっこつけさせてもらうよ。
Don't get me wrong, I genuinely liked Season 1 a lot and thought that it had its own unique charm. But sometimes, anime series of same categories, especially shonens and isekais, tend to have quite similarities amongst them in their initial stages. And in most cases, it's only when the plot progresses further, the show obtains its own uniqueness which makes them stand out from the crowd. And I know Jujutsu Kaisen has always been an anime which stood above the generic crowd, but objectively speaking, Season 2 is where this anime series upped its game and gained that unique vibe and identity, which is not only setting it aside from other shonens, but anime series as a whole.
助けに来たよ。歌姫。
So, the entire of Season 2 is divided into separate arcs, where the season starts with Hidden Inventory arc, which is a flashback to a time when Gojo and Geto were two prodigal sorcerers in Jujutsu High and best of friends. This 5-episode arc will take you on a trip to the past, depicting the incident which led to Geto splitting from Gojo and Jujutsu High and going over to the dark side, becoming the villainous curse user we knew. Whereas this was also the incident which led to Gojo becoming the godlike being we know now. And don't get me wrong, it's not like he was lacking any sort of power back then, but this was the point where Gojo gained a sort of enlightenment, becoming the definitive version we are familiar with in the present.
やりすぎて怒られたくないからね。抱いて謝れば殺さないでやるよ。これがルールね。クソガキが。
Despite being only 5 episodes long, this arc manages to achieve its goal quite nicely, where it had a calming setting, a lo-fi vibe, and an emotional connect between characters which was all conveyed exactly as it was supposed to be in order to ease in the viewers, and show us the significance and gravity of situations and why it was so impactful, which caused two best of friends going down the opposite paths becoming enemies, and causing the circumstances which are directly related to present conditions and situations in Jujutsu world.
私に従い。それが私の選んだ本音。猿ども。
This flashback arc needed to be done correctly, as this incident will set the tone and stage for what is about to come next, and that is the Shibuya incident. Story-wise, this arc has major significance, and this incident will easily become a landmark moment in Jujutsu Kaisen timeline, where after the Hidden Inventory fiasco, the plot flash forwards to present, and almost a year has passed since the incidents of Season 1, where you can see everyone has eased into their lives comfortably having a fun and chill time. Obviously, the fun didn't last as long, as dice starts rolling when Utahime met with Yuji, Megami, and Naobara to discuss a traitor within Jujutsu High who is leaking information to the cursed spirits. This tracking of a mole leads towards unveiling of an attack set by cursed spirits, and this particular attack takes place on Halloween's night in Shibuya, hence the Shibuya incident. This entire arc, which takes place over the span of Halloween's night, will bring about some major changes. This incident, which started off as just another attack made by cursed spirits, became a major turning point for the entire series. Here you will see cursed spirits planning and executing their attack in a very strategical manner, which was quite impressive. But when you're dealing with Satoru Gojo, a majority of that planning goes out the window. Yet surprisingly enough, after a series of peculiar and strange events, ultimately Gojo was sealed. Gojo getting sealed up was a pretty big deal, but it was just the beginning of a much sinister plan at play, as Gojo was quite literally the one keeping the darkness at bay. With him out of the equation, all hell is let loose as every cursed user and spirit who have been hiding in shadows are coming out to play. This significantly raises the stakes and level of threat at any given moment, as without the protective presence of Gojo, the balance of power shifts towards the cursed spirits, where this was the definitive movement they were waiting for in order to take down Jujutsu Society. Since Gojo gets sealed up pretty early in the arc, so majority of the incident you will feel that high level of danger presence, where anything could happen as Jujutsu sorcerers are fighting off hordes of cursed spirits and users. This also shows that how powerful cursed spirits actually are and what level of death and destruction they are capable of causing when Gojo isn't around, where even the first great sorcerers are having a hard time surviving the chaos. As I've said before, major turn of events will take place this season, and Gojo getting sealed was barely scratching the surface, with many major surprises in store for you if you haven't read the manga, because as the plot progresses, the level of danger and chaos progresses with it, causing a lot of death and destruction, with some of the most insane and mind-blowing fights I've seen in recent times, where you'll simply be left awestruck at what's happening on the screen. And since this incident has quite a few major battles happening throughout, there will be multiple major characters dying on both the sides of the fight, alongside a lot of major injuries taken by remaining. And by the time finale credits will be rolling, you will simply be left stunned not only by the incident but also by the state of the world left in its aftermath. This season has definitely raised the stakes in almost every aspect of what to expect from Jujutsu Kaisen, where the story direction and plot progression was done beautifully and in a very thematic sense, which complements the style of storytelling, and to add more flair to it, it also has some of the best art direction and animation, where the fights have some of the best choreographed martial arts action sequences I have ever seen in any anime. This amazing cinematography is not only in terms of combat scenes but also the general way of direction in storytelling, which feels quite cinematic, where more than often I kept forgetting that I'm actually not watching a movie, and combining that cinematic storytelling with equally amazing sound direction, the entire anime watching experience becomes that much more intense and immersive. Even the intro is more than enough to set the vibe and get you psyched up. You are my special. Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2 is without a doubt a defining moment in the series, where you can clearly notice a level up as compared to Season 1, not only in terms of story direction but also animation, art direction and sound design. This season the show not only excels at technical level but also in terms of plot and storytelling, where the incidents that transpired will become a landmark event in the anime's timeline, which will have major impact on the tone and setting of the story going forward. The hidden inventory arc and Shibuya incident are without a doubt the most significant entry in franchise till date, and I could easily consider it a near perfect season, where it has emotional connects, thrilling moments, crazy bloody action sequences, with a major turn of events happening in story and its setting, all wrapped in an amazing cinematic package, making this a definite must-watch even if you're not that into the franchise. I would also like to give a special shout out and a heartfelt thanks towards the animators at MAPPA Studios for providing us with such an amazing anime experience even after working under such harsh and inhumane work environment. You guys are the real heroes and will always have the support from the otaku community. So folks, that's it from my side today. Thank you for watching the video. Please let me know your thoughts on it. If you have already watched the season, do let me know your experience on the comment section. And also let me know if there are any other movies, series or anime you'd like me to review and figure out if they're actually worth the watch. So don't forget to drop a like, comment your feedbacks, subscribe for more incoming videos, and I'll see you soon in the next one.